I also have a new microphone that I'm going to be trying out. So I have several microphones. I just haven't been happy with one specifically for my computer where I do classes with you guys. So I do want to say that I appreciate you dealing with, you know, the sound of the classes. I know it's not terrible, but it, you know, it will be better once there's a microphone. So we kind of threw the studio in a matter of a few days and ironing out the kinks. So, all right, so a mixture of the mobility and the strength. So let's go ahead and just take a couple of breaths to start off with. We are going to come together with that. So even if you just haven't focused on the breath all day, you've been going and going, even if you just take a few breaths right now, it will mean a lot to your practice. Breathing in, belly, chest. And then exhaling, completely emptying the lungs. Normally we do inhale, exhale through the nose. This class we're going to do a lot of, we're going to be mouth breathers, right? Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. As long as we remember to breathe. And the more breathing that you do through the strengthening poses, the less sore your muscles will be. One more good breath. And then go ahead and bring your fingertips to the shoulders. We're going to do circles with the elbows just to warm up the shoulder joints. So most of the things in this class we're going to do in series of 8. Sometimes it will be 10. Once you do your 8 circles forward, do them backwards. Big full circles. Opening the chest. Warming up the shoulders. And then when you're finished with that, we're going to go to goddess arms. So just bring the arms like a goalpost, and we're going to just twist back and forth, warming up the spine. Try to keep the chest open and push back with your elbows. Breathing as you move, warming up the body a little bit too. And then go ahead and slow down the twist until you come to a stop. My shoulders are already working. All right, oh, and I forgot to say, if you have a strap, keep it nearby because we are going to use that for one of the things tonight. We're going to work on the mobility of the hips. So we're going to do the stacking fire log pose. The right leg is going to stay bent. And then we're going to take theoretically, we're going to take the left knee on top of the right knee, or I'm sorry, the left ankle on top of the right knee, and then line up the left knee on top of the right ankle. Your legs might not stack completely, but try to get them there. Okay? And then we're going to bring the arms up. And then we're going to bend the right elbow and grab the elbow and just press down. Keep the chest lifted and keep your breath here. Try to let go of gripping in the legs and the hips. A few more breaths. And then exhale, release. We're going to also release the legs and switch. So left leg will be on the top. Left leg will be on the bottom. Right leg will be on the top. So this is definitely different than our easy pose where we're crossing the legs. The legs are more of a 90-degree angle. Okay. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, Bring that left elbow, press it down. Let the hand hang in the middle of the back. Keep the chest lifted. 8 count breath here. One more and then go ahead and release. Good, release the legs. We're gonna slowly and carefully bring the legs out in front of us. Bent knees at first. We're gonna keep the knees bent just a little bit. And we're gonna move into a forward bend first. So try to get the belly as close to the thighs as you can and grab the toes. And then what we're gonna do is try to keep the chest lifted and then straighten the right leg while we're holding the toes. Your leg might not go down all the way, and that's okay. When you bend the knee first, sometimes it's easier to get into the hamstrings. I'm gonna take a couple breaths here. Shoulders away from the ears. And when I say shoulders away from the ears, I know sometimes that, we unground our shoulders that way. What that just means is we're making the shoulder blades flatter on the back. So instead of protracting the shoulder joints, we're retracting them, pulling them back. Take another breath here. And then go ahead and bend that knee, straighten the other one, straighten the other leg. Find your breath here. Good. I always find that I can straighten my legs better when I bend the knees first. I did a post today on Facebook about, I've been doing yoga for 20 years and I still can't touch my toes, but I still teach yoga because people think that you have to touch your toes to do yoga. All right, bring both knees down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. We're going to take a few breaths here, stretching the lower back. And again, getting into those hamstrings because your legs are going to work tonight for sure. Just drop the head. Inhale, come all the way up. We're going to do a seated pigeon. So bend the knees. Your hands are going to be flat on the mat. Again, be sure you're not crunching the shoulders forward. Keep the chest lifted. Left ankle to the right knee. Keep the foot flexed to protect the knee joint. And then we're just going to move our sitting bones closer to the right heel. Just go as close as you can till your body tells you to stop. I should probably stop wearing black on video. I blend in with my mat. I just keep turning left and right so you guys can see me. So yeah, maybe you can go a little bit closer, maybe not. You'll notice on my other leg that I cannot go as close as this side. Remember 8 full breaths here. I think the neat thing about bringing the strengthening and the weights together with yoga, which is very non-traditional, which sometimes I kind of like because I can be a little rebellious sometimes, is that we're learning the alignment and we're doing it in a safe way. So putting that together. Besides, they complement each other. Go ahead and straighten the right leg to bring the left foot back down. And then we're going to take the right ankle, put it on the left, well, it's really on the thigh, but on the knee area. And then walk yourself closer to the heel until the outside of your right leg says stop. Or it could be the inner right, the inside of the right leg too, which mine is doing right now. Find your breath. Keep that right foot flexed, protecting the knee joint, stabilizing the knee joint. And then go ahead and release. So straighten the left leg, release the right. And then we're gonna come to hands and knees. It doesn't matter how you get there, just go ahead and get there. And have your light weights nearby. So of course we have the option for light weights and medium weights. I'm gonna probably use my light weights the whole time. If you find that you could or want to switch to the medium weights or the heavier weights, then go ahead at any time. I'll try to remind you which ones, you know, but it's really up to you and what your body's ready for. So go ahead and start in Italasana. Spread the fingers. Be sure the shoulders are not over the wrists. Start with an inhale, drop the belly, raise the tailbone. Lift the gaze. Exhale, arch the back, drop the head, push the floor away from you. Inhale up. Move the shoulders around a little bit if you want. Move the hips around a little bit. We're going to do a few more rounds of this. Really want to stretch the abdominal muscles. We'll be using those tonight. I mean, we always use them in yoga, honestly, right? To stabilize our poses, but we're going to actually work those muscles. And go ahead and meet me back in a neutral spine or a tabletop position. You're going to grab your lighter weights for this one. Put it behind the knee joint. You're going to hold it with your leg by lifting your leg. And then we're going to go ahead and just bring it up, flex the foot, and we're going to hold it here for 10 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to bring this into a crunch. So knee to face, and then exhale out. I'm sorry, inhale out, exhale in. Yes. 10 of these. 2, 3. Nice slow controlled movements. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it back to the floor just for a moment. If you need to adjust it, go ahead and adjust it. Okay, now we're gonna do lift the leg out to the side. So lift the leg back up, and then we're gonna come out to the side. 1, 2, 3, so like fire hydrant pose. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and bring it down. Remove the weight, put it on the other side. We're gonna do that whole same thing on the other side. Put it behind the left knee. Lift the left leg. Foot is flexed, so it's like the foot is gonna kick the ceiling. Turn this way. So hold it here. 2, 3, 4. Bring your awareness to the legs in the back of, or the muscles in the back of the leg also. Use those to lift. 7, 8, engage the lower abdominals. 9, 10. Going into the crunches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it down, adjust it if you need to, get ready for the fire hydrant poses. The other thing I was thinking, something that you will not hear here in this class, which I hear in other strengthening classes that I go to, and know, you know, it's just you won't hear anything about the body here, you know? Like I was just thinking about, like, in my head, other instructors like, work that booty, that kind of thing. Not gonna hear that here. We're just trying to be healthy. All right, out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remove the weight safely, put it off to the side, bring the big toes together, widen the knees, come into child's pose here. And while you're here, I want you to kind of circle the wrists. I mean, because we're going to be putting a lot of weight on the wrist tonight too. Or if your arms are tired, you can bring the hands behind you and circle the wrists that way. But find your breath here. One more inhalation. As you exhale, come back to hands and knees. We're going to take the top of the hand and put it on the mat so we can stretch the wrist. So the further back you lean, the more of a stretch you're going to get. I mean, this is going to feel good on any day, especially if you're swiping on the phone or on the computer. Take a breath here. While we're taking these rests in between, go ahead and shake it out a little bit. Like say, you know, we just did some work with our legs. We go into child's pose, do the other wrist, top of the hand on the mat. As we're breathing, we can send the breath into those areas of the legs that we just worked. I even like to say thank you to my legs for working hard, because they do a lot of work for us, right? Our bodies are here to serve us. Take another breath. And then shake it out. We're moving on to a forearm plank where we're going to tap the toes. So you can do a couple of things here. You can just stay in plank and then maybe just straighten the legs out here one at a time, or just staying in plank is a lot of work. Or you can come to full forearm plank and we're going to tap out to the sides. So go ahead and come into plank, whichever you're choosing. 1, 2, 3, push the mat away from you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come to your knees. Widen the knees, come to child's pose, take 3 breaths. Come back to hands and knees. We're going to repeat that. So forearms, come to plank. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep the abdominals strong. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back to child's pose, 3 breaths. All right, go ahead back to hands and knees. We're going to come up into our first down dog. And like we were talking about the water in the beginning, stop and take a water break whenever you need to. So Bring your hands about a palm length forward. We're gonna curl the toes under and bring the hips up and back. So walk your dog out, stretch the calf muscles, lengthen the tailbone. Move the hips around. And be sure that you're pressing the roots of the fingers because we're gonna come into some knee crunches here. If at any time your wrists start to hurt, like where they might just be getting stronger, but if it gets to be too much, you can always grab the sides of your mat. All right, so here we go. Three-legged dog, so right leg up, bend the knee, and we're gonna crunch to the opposite arm. So bring your knee to the left arm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more for good luck. All right, other side, left leg up. And take a break at any time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back to down dog and begin to walk the feet forward. Don't come up all the way. We're gonna hang forward first and let the arms just dangle. Or you can grab opposite elbows. Separate the feet. Maybe do a little swing left to right, dangle the head completely. Still keep the chest lifted here so the legs are strong. Bring the fingertips back to the mat if you are grabbing your wrists. We're gonna come up in a chair pose here, but we need to get our weights ready and we need to get them ready safely. So bend the knees. Bring them to the front of the mat. We're gonna come up in a chair and do some tricep pushbacks. So go ahead and come up, keep the knees bent. Sitting bones are dropped low. And we're bringing the elbows up to the sides of the body and just kicking back the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring them back to the back down and then come to a standing position. When we're doing the lifts with the weights, you can always turn to or start doing one arm at a time instead of both at a time. So now we're going to find ourselves in Tadasana or mountain pose. And our edges of the feet are parallel. You can bring the feet hip width apart. When we're dealing with weights, you definitely want to be lifting the navel and dropping the sacrum. So we need to support the lower back by engaging the abdominals up. I won't use the tucking of the tailbone word. I just don't like it because first of all, you can't actually tuck your tailbone. We're just getting our bones and muscles to work together. All right, slight bend in the knees. We're gonna bring the weights in front of us in our mountain pose. They're only gonna go up to shoulder height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring them back down, bend the knees, put the weights down in the front of your mat. We're gonna inhale the arms up. Feels like they're flying upward now. Exhale down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back to plank. You have an option here to do a one-legged chaturanga. I'm just gonna do it regular. So chaturanga down, elbows kissing the sides of the body. Uncurl the toes, inhale, lift here. Stay in your baby cobra or regular cobra here for a couple of breaths. Shoulders back, legs are strong. Next exhale, curl the toes under, come to downward facing dog. Lengthen through the tailbone, and then walk the feet forward. Exhale, fold. Press the feet, inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Back to mountain pose, bend the knees, grab your weights. Come back to a standing position. Now we're gonna do out to the sides. So as you're doing this, you know, whatever you're holding on to, even if you're not holding on to anything, bring your awareness to the outer arms here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, slight bend in the knees, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring them down, bend the knees, put them in the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back to plank. If you did a one-legged chaturanga, do the other leg this time, chaturanga down. Inhale up, upward facing dog, bring it all the way up. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Lengthen. And then get to the front of your mat as you look up. Exhale, fold. Press the arms, inhale. Arms all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Bring the arms down to your sides. Inhale, bring the arms up. Grab the left wrist, lean to the right. Inhale back to center, grab the right wrist, exhale left. Inhale back to center, exhale, arms all the way down. We're gonna grab our strap. And also be sure, because we're coming into wide leg forward fold here, be sure that your weights are gonna be right in front of you, okay? So grab the strap and come into your wide legs. Oh, I forgot our side planks. Oh, we'll make sure to come back to those. All right, take your wide legs, grab your strap behind you. So we want to have the knuckles facing behind us. We're gonna inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And as you're folding forward, you're bringing the arms all the way up. So depending on your mobility in your shoulders, like Sandra, your hands will be closer together. If you don't have as much mobility, your hands will be further apart. So come all the way down, bring the arms up until you feel that stretch in the shoulders and stay there. Staying there for 8 breaths. Drop the head. See where you're gripping in the shoulders. And if you are, bring your awareness there and loosen a little bit more. Go ahead and bring the arms down. Stay hanging over. You're just gonna throw your strap off to the side and then bring your hands down to the mat. Bring your heels in to get ready for goddess pose. We're gonna press the legs. Now, engage the lower abdominals here because we're gonna pick up the weights and it should all be in your legs. Press the feet. Come to a standing position, but with your knees bent. We're gonna do bicep curls here. So keep the knees pressing open, chest is lifted. Elbows should be in the sides of the body, so we're just using the bicep muscles here. And 1. I mean, we're using the legs too, but trying to distract you from that. 3, 4, 5, 6, you can do it. 7, 8, 9, press the feet. 10, come to a standing position, bring the toes in, come to Tadasana. Keep the weights in front of you. So they should be held at your heart. You can shake your legs off a little bit. That was pretty tough. At least for me it was. We're gonna come into crescent pose. So bring the left leg back. And with crescent pose, of course, our heel is gonna be lifted. So first let's find our legs. Front knee is gonna be bent. Left hip flexor is kind of softening forward, so you should be feeling a stretch in the front of your leg, or you might be. And then we're gonna twist here. We're gonna twist to the right. Just twist as far as you can. And then we're gonna open up the arms. And we're gonna hold here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring the arms in, face forward, come back to Tadasana. Other side, right leg back, coming into crescent pose. So left knee is bent. Find your legs first, find your stability, find that spot on the floor to help you balance. Engage the abdominals. And once you're ready, twist to the left. Extend the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good. 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring the arms back into the heart. Bring the chest forward, come back to Tadasana. Bend the knees, put your weights down for a moment, and do a vinyasa here. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back. Chaturanga down. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lengthen through the tailbone. And then step forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Drop the arms back to Tadasana. So we're gonna hold the weights again. If the lighter weights are not doing it for you, you can move on to the heavier ones or not use any weights at all. We're coming into warrior 2, so bend the knees, pick up the weights. Bring the right leg up and back. So warrior 2 legs. Back foot is gonna be turned in just a little bit. Bend the front knee. Good. We're gonna bring the weights up to our shoulders. Rotate the right shoulder back. And then we're gonna do presses here. So chest is lifted, engage the lower belly, navel up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it back down. Bring the weights in front of you. Straighten the front knee, toes in. Bring the right toes out. Warrior 2 on the other side. So as you're paying attention to moving the arms, also bring your awareness back to the feet and the foundation of what's going on there. The knee might want to start to cave in, and the back leg might get a little bit lazy and start to lift the heel. So just pay attention to those things. Bend the right knee. Revolve the left shoulder back. Bring the shoulders back, or the weights back up to the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, nice, 9, 10. Woo, bring them in front of the heart, right toes in, walk your feet back together. We're gonna put the weights down for now, so bend the knees, weights down, come back to a standing position, and we're gonna do a balancing pose without the weights because our body weight is enough. So figure 4, balancing pose. Bring the right foot or the right ankle to the left thigh. I'm gonna use the wall. You can always use the wall. And then we're just gonna fold forward. So this is just like a standing pigeon. See how far down you can go. If your fingertips can come to the floor, then go ahead and bring them down to the floor, drop the head. Shoulders away from the ears. Find your breath. Two more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, come back to a standing position and prepare for the other side. I'm gonna walk over here, do the other side. So left ankle on top of the right knee. Find your focus point, find your breath, and come down if you can. Drop the head if you can. 8 total breaths here. One more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, come back to a standing position. And shake it off. Come back to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back. We missed my favorite one for tonight, so you're on hands and knees. We're gonna do side plank, okay? But there's a couple of different options. So we're gonna lift the leg for this one. You can either be in total side plank, which you want the wrist to be a little bit in front of the shoulder. So if you're doing total side plank, leg lifts like that. Other option is to bend the knee like this, which is what I'm going to do. All right, so you decide. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Keep this left hip lifted. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back to hands and knees and do the other side. So whatever you did on one side, do the same thing on the other. Straighten the left leg. So, and also be sure you're not dumping into this right shoulder. Everything gets pressed away from the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and come to hands and knees. Bring the knees to the edges of the mat. And thank goodness for child's pose. Sit back on the heels. Grab the bottoms of the feet if you want to rest the arms. 8 breaths here. Return the hands back to the mat. And then we're just going to cross at the ankles and have a seat and then lie down on our backs. And actually, sit back up if your weights are not nearby. We want to grab our weights before we lie down. My bad, I'm sorry. This one you could use the heavier weight if you have a heavier weight. Otherwise, the light weight is just fine or no weight. So once you do have your weight safely, lie down on your back. We're going to do bridge pose with a weight on our lower abdominals. So go ahead and place it under the belly button. Shoulder blades are flat on the mat. You're going to hold on to the weight while you're pressing up. So bring the heels close to the sitting bones. We're going to take a deep breath in. So, okay, ideally, when we are, anytime we're taking a breath in, we're opening the lungs. So we're opening, inhale, exhale, we close. But for this one and what we're doing, I want you to exhale on the lift, okay? So take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. See if you can press higher. 5, 6. Inner edges of the feet. 7, 8. Keep the knees close together or closer towards each other. 1 more. 10. Good. Put the weight off to the side. We're going to do eagle pose, lying down on our backs, and we're going to do crunches with them. So you never, weirdest thing ever, right? It's so crazy, but how useful. All right, so I know that doing the arms is not accessible to everyone. So just, you can grab your shoulders for this, or you can just keep your hands together, whatever is easier. To protect the neck, it's like you're holding an orange under your chin. Don't crunch it this way, don't let it bend this way, just looking straight up. And honestly, you don't even have to lift your head if your neck is bothering you. You can just bring your knees into the chest. All right, if you're able to, bring the left leg over the right, coming into eagle legs. If you can get that left toe behind the right calf muscle, do that. And then right arm would go over left. And then we are doing something like this. As you exhale, well, be sure that the lower back is flat. There should be no space under the lower back. So lift the legs so that to make that happen, you're pressing the low back into the mat. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, come forward and back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All the way down. Feet down, unravel. Do the other side. Right leg over left. Wrap the legs up the best you can. And then the left arm will go over the right. Lift the legs so the lower back is pressing. And then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower, release, take a moment here. After you've taken at least 1 or 2 breaths, then you can go ahead and bring the knees up to the chest. Rock back and forth. And then drop the feet back down to the mat. We're going to do a twist here and then a side stretch and go into our Shavasana. So shift the hips to the left, drop the knees to the right, bring the arms out to the sides of the body and look over the left fingertips. Stay here and breathe. One more breath. Exhale back to center. Bring the pelvis back to center and now shift it to the right, dropping the knees to the left. Look over the right fingertips. Find your breath. One more deep breath in, and then as you exhale, come back to center. So knees up towards the ceiling. Bring the pelvis back to center, and then straighten the legs out. We're going to take a long stretch, but also we're going to do, just a lateral stretch lying down. So you're going to look like a banana on the mat. So bear with me here as I explain it. Bring your right foot to the right corner of your mat, and then cross the left foot over the right. Now lean to the right, grab your left wrist with your right hand and stretch. Yep, like a side crescent stretch lying down. Supine crescent, we'll call it. And take a couple of breaths here. And then come back to center. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So left foot to the left corner of the mat. Put your right foot over your left. Lean to the left. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and stretch. Same thing we did standing up, just doing it lying down. And then exhale, come back to center. Give your body what it needs right now, and then get ready for Shavasana. So if you want to do happy baby, if you want to take another stretch, if you just want to get your sweatshirt on and lie down. Even if you're warm right now, your body will cool down as you lie still. So once you're ready, go ahead and straighten the legs, bring the arms along the sides of the body, separate the ankles, let the feet hang out to the sides. And now as you lie here, you do want that little bit of a curve under your lower back. The pelvis will be tilted forward slightly. Shoulder blades flat on the mat. And palms about 6 or so inches away from the body, facing up towards the ceiling. But now is also your time to just kind of open up and let go, so they can be further away too. Chin a little bit lower than the forehead, so the muscles in the back of the neck can completely relax. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here.